pause here for our guided practice today. What you're going to do next, I'm going to give you a countdown from 5 to 1, and when I get to 1, I should see all of your guided practice work in the center of your desk, and then you're going to go back to Frozen and Folded. I should see your worksheet in the middle of your table, and then you go back to what? Frozen and Folded. Ready? Go. 5. I love the way this table is moving with purpose. 4. 3. This table has completely got into Frozen and Folded. 3. 2. You're tracking me if you are ready to go. You are tracking me. Amazing job. Alvin, your table is at 100%. Great work. Boys and girls, we're going to transition into our independent practice. Independent means that you're going to do this by yourself, right? How many of you just heard what I said? You're going to do this by yourself. Back to Frozen and Folded. Great work, guys. You are really listening. Take out your student activity book when I say go. When I say go, you're going to take out your student activity book and turn to page 391. What page are you going to turn to?
391.
I'm going to give you a 5-second count. Ready? Go. 5. 4. I love the way you're moving with purpose. 3. I love the way some of you are even checking your neighbor's papers to make sure they are at 391. 3. Checking your neighbor's book to make sure that you're at 391. 2. You should be getting to a frozen and folded position. That lets me know that you are ready. I love the way Sunshine is making eye contact with me and she's tracking. 2. And 1. Thumb in the air if you are on page 391. I need 100%. Amazing work.
3 minutes is too fast.
Okay.
It interrupts too much of what I'm doing, so I've kind of gone closer to 4 to 5 minutes.
Okay, good.
I can feel it go off, so depending on what I'm doing, you just kind of
Finish
have
up.
to kind of finish up before going on. But 3 minutes was way too quick.
That's good. That's a good adjustment. What are you finding as far as how is it shifting your classroom?
The students are they're seeking out getting something from me, whether it's a physical thing that I'm giving out or just a positive affirmation. I can kind of see that from them, so.
And it shifts probably the entire, just the overall climate.
Yeah, the demeanor of the class has changed.
That's nice. So today I came in and I modeled for you transitions and having 100%. What did you notice about what I said and what I did?
They were short and to the point, so I know that I talk too much.
Okay, so
I do know that.
so my language was clear and concise.
Clear and concise language, I
Okay.
guess is the word.
Good.
So yes, they were simple directions, so they all knew what to do. Sit tall, eyes on me, frozen and folded. You explain what that is, so they kind of knew. They didn't have to you showed them as you did it, but it wasn't something that was difficult for them to do, so they were able to do it.
Mm-hmm. So what did you think about the amount of wait time that I gave and the amount of just my countdown?
I do a countdown with them. I probably am not as consistent as I should be, but I do give them some countdowns. Probably too long. I probably count down more from 10 than 5. But the countdown helps for them to stay where they need to be.
Stay on pacing, yeah. And just curious, after I gave the directions, what did you see me do about the room?
Oh, you were walking the room, kind of funny because you were almost walking my same pathway.
Yeah.
So
Great minds think alike.
But kind of walking the pathway just as you were saying it, so.
When I told them to turn to page 391, what did you see me do?
I don't know if I noticed what I saw you do.
So think about, I told them to turn to page 391,
Mm-hmm.
and then I narrated, and I said, I love the way so-and-so is turning to 391. I love the way that so-and-so is actually helping so-and-so get to page 391.
So, while you were, so you were walking and narrating, and then you were giving kind of a positive, like, I like the way, you know, kind of picking out students who were doing what they were supposed to be doing, and then.
And then before I turned it over to you to actually lean into the independent practice, what did I do again before I turned it over to you?
Had them all give a thumbs up that they were actually at that page.
And did you see 100%?
Not at what first, you waited till you kind of mentioned the girls were, I don't have 100% from the boys, I have 100% for the girls, now I have 100% from the boys. So you kind of made sure that they were all at that 100%.
What was the impact of that?
You knew they were ready, you knew that they were ready to move on.
Yes, and so the impact of that is making sure that everybody is with you at the same place, at the same time, the directions are clear, and we are all setting the stage and we're moving into this next place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want you to take a look at your transition. Now I want you to look at the student movement as well and what the students are doing. I was there.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you missing? What's the gap between the model of the transition that I did for you today and the model and what you saw in the video?
So I gave the directions moving, and then I didn't have 100%.
On what we discussed, what do you think your next action step will be?
I need to get 100%.
Yes,
So I
you
need
do.
to stop.
While the students are transitioning and 100% of the students are ready before moving to the next part of your lesson. So that's the second part.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third part is building that momentum or issuing a challenge. I see that all my girls are moving and they are ready. They're gonna meet that countdown. I see all my boys are together. I think I have 100%. You don't always have to do a boy-girl challenge. Sometimes you may wanna add, I have 17 people are with me, 3 people are not. Oh, now I have 18,
Mm-hmm.
now I have 19, I have 100%. So you may wanna think of even doing a whole class
Mm-hmm.
kind of a challenge in that way. So I wanna just make sure I lock this in. I want you to write down your action step, exactly what you heard me say.
So scan. Give the direction. Did I do that backwards, I think?
So what are you gonna do first?
Give the direction,
Yeah, give the direction first.
and then scan. Like, give them adequate time to finish it, so I can't expect it to get done in 3 seconds.
No.
Like,
And you can chunk your direction so making sure that, again, going back to that clear and concise direction. So after you give that direction, you're gonna provide the adequate wait time for the students to comply.
okay.
All right, so read that back to me.
So I'm gonna give them like wait time, scan and narrate, have 100% of the students ready before moving on, and build momentum.
Perfect, okay. Now, I want you to think of a transition that you're gonna have in the classroom in just a few minutes. So like if you think about what's a good transition that you might have in a lesson, think about a transition that might give you a little trouble.
Workshop.
Okay,
This kind of push, a group leaving, a group coming to my table, and another, there's actually like 3 different things going on at the same time.
Perfect.
One group leaving, one group coming, one group working.
all right, so now on the back of this paper, I want you to script your narration for that transition that you plan on putting in place on Monday.
We'll be at a seat working on an independent practice activity.
Me?
Well,
Okay.
everybody is.
Okay.
Okay, and so I have 3 groups that leave, or I have 3 different 5 different groups, but 3 different actions that are happening. Or 4 different groups, 3 different actions. So I have one group, my circles, that leave the room and go with Mr. McFadden. I have one group, my squares, who take their math notebook and come to my table for a small group. And I have 2 groups, my pentagons and triangles, who find a quiet seat and begin working on their workshops. Students, you're gonna put your pencils down and close your books, and I will know when you are ready, when your hands are frozen and folded.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there.
Okay?
Can you make that language a little bit more concise?
Yeah,
So I want you to think for a minute. Here I am, I'm working on my independent practice,
Mhm.
right? What am I doing on my independent practice? So here I am, I'm working on my independent
Mhm.
practice.
you're not looking at me.
Yeah, I'm not looking at you. I don't know